So I am on my way into my doctor's appointment. About 3 weeks ago, I put out a video talking about my HIV/AIDS story, and I literally just put that out there for my Facebook friends, and I had no idea what was going to happen in the next 3 weeks. My video has been seen almost 15,000 times at this point. I know it was at 14,000 a little while ago. It's happening really fast. It's insane, and I never ever expected this kind of turnaround. So I have things that I wanted to follow up with. I have people asking me questions, and I have a doctor's appointment I'm going to right now to talk about my blood work. And so I'll go in there in a second, and then I'll come out and follow up with all the stuff that's happened. It's been insane. It's been amazing, and I'm just blown away. I had no idea that I was going to get this kind of feedback and that so many people would watch my video, and it's making me so happy because this is, my God, this is so what I wanted to do when I got sick. And it's emotional stuff for sure, super emotional. Okay, going to the doctors now. I don't want to start crying. I'm always crying. Okay, bye. So I'm sitting in the room that I came to back in February, actually the exact same room. This is where I met Dr. Leonard for the first time and my nurse Elaine. And this is where I found out that I had AIDS, and it was confirmed in this room back in February. She told me this would be a distant memory and I would be better, and she's right. And I get to come here now and check my blood work today. I already know what it is, but we're just going to go over it in more detail. But it's great to be able to come here and give her a hug and tell her that she was right. This is a distant memory and life is good again. Okay, just leaving my doctor's appointment right now, and so my blood work was okay, so the last time I tested I was at 34. I'd come down from 507,000 when I was first diagnosed down to 34 eventually over some time. You're not actually undetectable until you're under 20. And so I just tested again and I'm at 21. Okay, so I'm really close to undetectable, but then apparently after you get undetectable, there's something that's undetectable. I can't remember what she told me. It's like they can't find it at all, and then there's also they can find it and they can give you a number under 20, but they consider it undetectable. But then there's this other one where it's undetectable and they can't find it at all, and there's a name for it, and I don't remember what she told me it was. So she said you will probably get undetectable next time, but they will find it, and then the next time we test, it'll be basically 6 months from now, because I'm kind of doing every 3 months at the moment. She said that it would probably be undetectable and they won't find it. So I still haven't gotten to that point. But I'm really close. I guess it just takes time. My T cells were at 357 the last time I tested 3 months ago. They only went up to 378. So I was really shocked by that. I thought that it would have been higher. And she explained something to me about there's a percentage they look at as well, and she said sometimes people's T cells go up, but the percentage stays low, and that means they're I guess they're not as strong or as effective yet, or they can go up slower and they're really strong. So she said basically mine are really strong. She said your percentage is really good, and she'd rather see that happen. And so she said, I'm out of any range of having opportunistic infections. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm healthy. I'm good. So that was good. One thing I want to clear up, because I just spoke to her and it's really fresh in my mind, and I don't want to put out false information. Female to male transmission isn't as slim as I probably made it sound, and I guess because the reason I went with that information is because of my situation with my boyfriend and what he was exposed to, and he didn't get it. And so I think, my God, it's got to be super hard to get from women. But I don't want to put that out there. I guess it's not as difficult to not get it from women as I had put it out there. So basically, it's not the same as saliva. Female vaginal secretions. It's not, because saliva has nothing, and obviously vaginal secretions has something, or else they wouldn't be able to pass it on. So I don't know percentages at all. I'm not going to put out false information, but women can give it to men, and I'm trying to think of what else she told me about it, but kind of that Eric was lucky, that he was lucky. And this is, oh yeah, that was what she told me. Women that are untreated, that are not on medication or that don't know they have it, they're obviously at higher risk for giving it to a man. And this is what happens, is it does get passed on that way because men don't think that they can get it from women, and the women aren't treated, or they don't know they have it, or whatever. And so that is a problem, and I definitely want to clear that up. In my situation, I'm treated, and I'm kind of a different story because everything's low. So, but Eric is lucky, really lucky that he didn't get it, because I was, incredibly contagious, and it didn't happen. So, I guess that's it right now. I have a whole bunch of other stuff that I want to go over later, that I've had a bunch of questions, and I just want to answer them later. Okay, back home. So the big thing that I missed completely in my first video was talking about partner notification, and that is what failed me 100%, and that is why I got so sick. The person that gave this to me found out 3 months after we split that he had it, and he didn't contact me. He gave my name and number to the clinic, and they were supposed to contact me. And yeah, he could have called me, but he really felt like they were going to do it, and I don't know why. We've looked into it. We've tried to get an answer. We can't find an answer. They can't find any of my information, but for whatever reason, they did not contact me. And so because of that, I never tested. I have to take some responsibility for that myself, because the person I was with had some high-risk behavior. So, but I was really convinced when we were together that he didn't have it, because actually we talked about it quite a bit, and he had been tested before we were together, and he said he was negative, and I truly believe that he was, and I truly believe that he felt that he was also. I mean, I believe that the test showed that he was negative, because there's just no way, there's just no way. I don't think that he lied to me for 8 months about this. So that's what happened, and because I didn't find out, I got really sick. So a lot of people can just go ahead and test if they're kind of curious, and they can never be sick, and that's the way it should be. So unfortunately, because I didn't find out, my body had time to really be attacked by the HIV. And typically, from what I've heard, is that it takes like 5 to 10 years to go to like full-blown AIDS. For some reason, for me, it happened in 2.5 years, so it was really fast. So I wanted to say that, and hold on. So again, this is just insane to me that I'm having so many people see this video. I had no idea this would happen. I've got subscribers. What, really? Why? Like, why? Why do you want to see me? Okay, I don't know, I'll put something else out there, but it was kind of crazy. It's like funny, I keep getting subscribers, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'll do another video. So that's why I'm doing this. But it's just been unbelievable, and I'm really touched that I've had so many positive comments, and I can't tell you how much that means to me. It's been amazing. When I laid sick on my couch, and I was starting to come out and tell people about what was going on, I had a girlfriend who told me, my girlfriend Heather told me, Jennifer, I think that you're gonna get out there and you're gonna start educating people. She goes, I see this happening, and it's really happening. Like I told her last night, I said, can you believe this? It's like really happening. I can't believe it. So it is what I wanted to have happen. I really wanted to move forward and be open about it and educate people on this, and change the stigma. That's what the whole point of this is to help change the stigma about it. I didn't do anything dirty. I didn't do anything bad. I was just a person who was in love with somebody who had a virus, and I got a virus from them, and that's it. And that's the bottom line. I got sick from being in love with somebody, and unfortunately, you have to be really careful, and I wasn't, and now I have this, but it's gonna be okay. And I know some people think I'm being too light about it, but this is my story, and I can be as light about it as I want. No one else has to be. If someone else wants to feel really sad about it and have a hard time with it, they can. But I just want people to know that do have it. You can be like light about it if you want to. It's an option, and it's my option. It's my life. This is how I want to treat it, and I don't want to hide in a corner. I want to be out about it, and I want to be okay about it because this is going to be with me for I don't know how long. And I want other people to know that they have that option too. They don't have to sit there and feel like isolated from the world, because that's not fun. So, because I was never notified, I didn't obviously want anyone to go through what I went through. And so I had to go through that process of contacting people. I was single during that time, and there were people that I needed to contact as well. And I have to say, although that would be an incredibly uncomfortable thing to have to call somebody and say you were exposed to HIV, I thought that would be the worst thing in the world to have to tell somebody. I don't know why, but everybody was incredibly kind to me. And it wasn't anything I expected. I expected for everyone to feel like I was disgusting and gross, and how I thought I'd run into these people in town and they would hate me, and I have had nothing but just warm feelings, and I'm sorry that you had to go through this. It's all been like they turned it on me immediately and said, my God, but how are you? And I'll get tested, but I'm not worried about myself. And luckily for me, and maybe that's just because it's a male, female to male transmission is low, so they weren't worried. But my experience was, again, really positive, thank God, because that could have been really awful and uncomfortable, and it wasn't. What else did I want to mention? I forgot to mention that it's in breast milk. It is in breast milk. I totally forgot that in the first video. Also, let's see. My life expectancy is exactly the same as it was before. I didn't mention that in the other one. I definitely realized children have died of AIDS as well. I mentioned men and women in my first video. Obviously, millions, I suppose. I don't know. I really don't know numbers, but yeah, obviously a lot of people are affected by this, all from all walks of life. A couple other weird symptoms that I had, not necessarily, well, weird, yeah, like I've had like this weird nasally thing that I was smelling cigarette smoke. That was kind of around the same time that I had the neck thing going on, when that was swollen, my lymph node. But I kept feeling like it was smelling an ashtray, and I told the ear, nose, and throat doctor that, and he had no answer for me. And yeah, it was strange. And I still have times where I will smell something and it just seems to linger for a long time, and I don't know why, and I think I'm still smelling it, but it's nowhere near me, and it seems like it's just somewhere, memory in my brain somewhere. That was a weird thing, and I don't even know if that's HIV, but it seems kind of like it happened around the same time. So also, when I was really sick, and I didn't mention this, when you have a fever, and I don't really know, maybe it's just when you have fevers, but my heart was racing at about 100, I think it was 100 beats per minute, just laying completely still. So I would lay in bed all day, not moving, and my heart was like just racing. And I actually asked the doctor, can I have a heart attack from my heart beating so fast all the time? And it's just your body trying to compensate for all the illness. And she said no, she wasn't worried, but that was one of the things that I felt all day long, was my heart racing really fast, and that felt weird. Also, I had night sweats. I did have night sweats quite a bit, and that started before I was diagnosed. I started to have a fever. Like 3 weeks into that flu, a fever started, and I was just drenched in sweat, and I kept thinking, oh, it's my body breaking the fever. I have some kind of flu. But that was something that stayed for a long time. Those night sweats were all throughout my recovery, and they were kind of one of the last things that left as I was getting better from HIV. So that was another symptom that I had. My eardrum ruptured on 2 plane flights during that time period, and I don't know if I've never had that happen before, and it was incredibly painful, and I wondered if the lining of my eardrum was thinner or something. I've always had problems with my right ear, but a ruptured eardrum on a plane flight seemed a little strange, so that happened. And I had lots of sore throats, not at the time when I was diagnosed, but I had lots of sore throats that I had tested for strep for during that time, and always negative for strep, and it was like, well, why am I having a sore throat for so long? But I did have a lot of sore throats. What else? I have all these notes here. So just a couple more things. My kids are great, and they handled this really well. Obviously, they didn't like seeing their mom so sick, and there were some nights that I honestly didn't know if I'd wake up in the morning. I really didn't. I felt like I might go to sleep and that was going to be it. And so yeah, they saw some scary stuff, and thank God everything turned out okay. And they're just awesome. They all get it, and they're really educated on all of it now, and things are great. I do want to say a special thank you to my mother, who spent close to 3 weeks here running my household, which is not easy. I have 3 kids and an exchange student at the time. I have one again, and pets, and my boyfriend was here at the time, and it was crazy. It's crazy trying to manage everything and food and just 2-story house and all of that. So I want to thank my mom from the bottom of my heart for being here for me and taking care of me and letting me get better. So, okay, I think that's enough for now. Thanks again for listening. Bye.